right, what is going on, hockey fans and Ranger fans? Welcome to the final buzzer of the season edition of the 407 Rangers. It is your host, Raymond Tapia. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and a comment. Turn on your notifications when I'm about to upload a post, a recap, or highlights, or go live. So, as y'all know, the Rats have returned, and they are now back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. Reinhart, man. Rhino was just absolutely ridiculous last night. That dirty dangle goal was just incredible. And he scored 3 more goals throughout the night. And everybody else, man, from Barkov to Ekblad to Bennett to Marchand to Rodriguez to freaking the Boquist brothers to Bobrovsky and Verhaeghe. Like, the Florida Panthers, they just outplayed everyone, outclassed, out forechecked every single team that was in their way. And the only team that gave this team an actual fight for their life was the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Toronto Maple Leafs, y'all, a team that hasn't been to the Eastern Conference Finals since 2004, and they only got to the second round. That was the only team that gave them a fight for their life, which is absolutely diabolical to even say. But hats off to the Panthers, man. They deserve it. They, like I said, they wanted it more. I know I picked Edmonton, which I will give you guys my explanation for that. So my first reason why I chose Edmonton was because throughout the whole Western Conference playoffs, like, they were just, they looked like they were going to be eliminated, and then they just start going on a hot streak and winning all these games. And from there, I was just like, man. But what also convinced me, too, was the Prickard. The goaltender Prickard had me thinking, like, you know what? He might just actually turn this team around. And I thought for a sec he was going to start in the first games of the Stanley Cup Finals. But nope, they still relied on Stuart Skinner. And as far as Edmonton, man, Connor McDavid, it wouldn't surprise me if he gets fed up and he just doesn't want to be there anymore after next year. Because, listen, McDavid is in his prime, but there's not much time left to help him win either. And I just don't know if he's going to stick with a team that got him to the Cup, but they lose 3 in a row. And that's if they even go to the Stanley Cup next year. I just don't know if he wants to be a part of a team that has a losing culture. And for the Panthers, they have a winning culture. From the locker room to the front office to the damn practice facilities to everything. Like, they have it all under control now. And as far as Edmonton, they just got to get their goaltending way better. Because I'm not going to sit here and say Draisaitl and freaking Ekholm and McDavid and Hyman and Nugent Hopkins and all those guys can't play. But they definitely, if they want to even have a shot at trying to win, they got to adjust the goaltending. Because I just don't see Stuart Skinner being that guy for them anymore. Like, it showed. It definitely showed. But the Florida Panthers, they can win on the 3rd cup next year. Absolutely. They are on the verge of being an actual dynasty. And it won't surprise me one bit if they end up re-signing their players and they run it back with the same core. Because it's a possibility that can happen. Huge possibility. Now, like I said, with all the other teams, from what I'm going to see, I'm sure they're going to try to figure out how can we play like Florida does. But it's kind of tricky to do that because how Florida did it, they took their time with that. They didn't just spend all the money with the salary cap and just acquired all these players and created a whole freaking dynasty team. No. They drafted certain players, they acquired certain ones with the right timings, and that is why they're in a much better position. I mean, if you look at some of those players' contracts, you would think to yourself, wow, They got so many robberies. They got a steal out of certain players. Evan Rodriguez is definitely a steal for sure. 100%. I mean, there's so many other guys I can sit here and talk about that they don't even have like the biggest contracts and they're playing absolutely spectacular. So that's why the Panthers are just going to be a winning culture for the next probably 4 or 5 seasons, man. Even when Bobrovsky ends up being a free agent after next season, they can still find a goaltender that's going to do the job just as good as he does. Because from what I see, it seems like to me Florida's going to be the new attraction for hockey players that want to win. And that's what a lot of fans and the hockey world is going to have to start realizing, that Florida is here to stay and they're here to win. And honestly, this is a different era. It really is. Like, you can't troll this team anymore. Nope. This team went from going through pretty much 3 decades of being mocked at to now they're a team you can't mock and you got to take serious. And yeah, I get it. They're the most hated team, but it's like, why can't the fans enjoy this? They've been through pain and misery most of their life. Hell, I remember the hockey guy at one point when he used to do videos many years ago about this team, he felt like they weren't going to win anything. Now look, the hockey guy talks about the Panthers and praises them a lot more now. He went from considering them to never winning anything to now they might be on to something and they're going to be a dynasty team. Like, that's how quick the switch up was. And I personally have seen the Panthers for a long time. I'm not a Panthers fan, but I started knowing about them back in the Jaromir Jagr era when I was still little and growing up and things like that. And honestly, they truly deserve this because like I said, they've been through a lot of misery and pain for all these years, even though the Rangers have as well. They just did it right, and they did it way better. And honestly, like I said, guys, it would not surprise me one bit if Marchand signs another deal, Ekblad, Bennett, and all the other guys, because who else is going to help them win a cup? I mean, you guys showed me which other 31 teams are going to be in a position to win them a Stanley Cup. That's all I'm saying. I just don't know if any other team's going to be able to do that. Now, as far as the Rangers, I'll do a whole different video on that because this isn't about the Rangers. This is about what Florida has done and how people need to embrace what they're going to be doing. The people are going to have to start embracing the greatness of the Florida Panthers. Because I could definitely see them winning the 3rd one next year. 100%. I just don't see anybody outplaying this team, man. And if they get everybody back, just hang it up next year. But anywho, that is my recap for today, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. And once again, the Florida Panthers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. The dynasty is on the way, man. We might have to watch out because if Brad Marchand gets that 3rd cup with them, you're going to have to start calling Brad. Brad's going to go from Brad the Rat to Master fucking Splinter from the Ninja Turtles. That's what I'm going to call him now. If he wins this, if he signs back with them and he wins another one, he's not Brad the Rat no more. He's Brad Master fucking Splinter. And I know a lot of people hate him, but how can you hate? That is a player you want on your team. He's a player where you hate him, but you want him type shit. So that's the type of guy Marchand is. The fact that he's 36 and is still playing at this level says a lot. So Panther fans, enjoy this because this is definitely something that you guys are going to be talking about for the next generations or so. And now, no more pain and misery. And honestly, like I said, that fan base has been very patient. So congrats to you guys. I'm very excited for everyone down there that really like helped them out, and they deserved it, man. They just deserved it. And what made me feel like I gave them a lot more respect was Barkov, because Barkov got to bring in the players who never won the cup in first to hoist the cup, because he was like, I did this last year. It's your turn. Let me show you guys how it feels to win the cup. And then, of course, he started hoisting the cup and everyone else as well. But what really gave me a lot more respect for Barkov was He at 1:30 a.m. he still was celebrating with the employees of the team in the arena. Like, that is a different type of leader right there. And guys, you don't know how bad I wish the Rangers had that. This is why the Rangers are never going to be able to even try to beat this team, because they have no culture, for one. They have no leader. And they have no class. And they don't have all three of those. Good luck trying to see that team win a cup. Because right now, that the Panthers team is definitely going to be winning more cups. If nobody figures out how to beat this team, they're going to be winning more cups. But thank y'all for tuning in. I will do a separate video on all the recent news with Matt Rampy signing the extension. So make sure y'all tune in with that. And what a hell of a season, guys. What a hell of a season. We've finished off the season with pretty much the Panthers repeating and on the verge of being a dynasty. But now that that's over, now it's time to focus on this team and figure out, what is Chris Drury going to do? Because he's not going to run it back. He'd be retarded to do that. So he said he's going to be aggressive. We're going to see it. I'll believe it when I see it. But as always, thank y'all for tuning in. Leave a like and subscribe. And congratulations to the Florida Panthers for being the new 2025 Stanley Cup champions. All you Panther fans, enjoy it. You guys definitely deserve it. I mean, they're just a good team, hands down. So y'all have a wonderful week and enjoy your summer. And more videos will be on the way with the New York Rangers as well.